Hello everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to my very first scenery review for P3Dv5. And today we're going to be taking a look at MK-Studios Helsinki Airport and seeing whether it's worth your money. So, Helsinki Airport, that's a scenery that was a gap, it was a missing gap for quite a long time when it comes to V4 and V5, because there was one by Aerosoft like from 2010, long time ago. And people kept like patching it so that they could use it in V4 and V5 eventually, but it had like a couple issues and it was dated obviously due to its age. And then suddenly, once MK-Studios announced that they were working on Helsinki, JustSim also made their own rendition of Helsinki Airport. And this one is of course MK-Studios rendition. So there's now the Airsoft one, which is very old, there's the JustSim rendition, and there's the MK-Studios rendition. We're taking a look at the MK-Studios one, which is available on our back store for 11 bucks currently, because there's a sale going on, like 40% off. So we're gonna be walking around, checking the airport. No flight today. The airplane is there just for the sake of measuring VRAM, because we're using a very VRAM intensive airplane. This is the Flight Simlabs A321 Sharklet with high res textures, 4K textures that add up to 600 megabytes on your VRAM. So we're talking about VRAM abuse here, and it's working fine. So we have the labs loaded, we have the scenery loaded, moderately high settings. V5 wise, I mean, you cannot really go full crazy, considering I got like a 2070. It's not really powerful enough to max out P3Dv5 by any means, but I'm running reasonable settings here. You can see like it doesn't look bad at all, like the PBR, the lighting, everything. That I'm using the enhanced atmospherics and shit, so you can tell like this is really demanding for the card itself, and you know, you get quite on the edge of VRAM, but we're fine here. If you check MS Afterburner, we have 7.7 gigabytes of VRAM used, which in P3D we have 5.4 out of 6.7, because it doesn't use your entire VRAM. We locked to 30 FPS for performance reasons, and also gameplay wise, because it does make it more stable. So 5.4 out of 6.7, not bad for quite a scenery. It's very big. It's got a lot of stuff going on. There's grass, there's trees everywhere. The textures are very nice, and the VRAM use is considerable. We have quite a gap there. So we have 1.5 gigabytes of gap, quite a decent margin, honestly. But let's disable that clutter because we don't want to look it out. We just want to see whether, you know, we want to see the scenery itself. So that's what we're gonna do today. Let's move around. This is where we parked. Stand 23. As you can see, the jetways are very high def. Look at that. Let's get like real close and personal with the jetway. You can see like it got quite nice texturing there. You can see the weathering. You can tell it's like very old, and it's got a lot of rust on it and stuff, just like it is in real life, as one would expect. Like it's quite an old bit of airport. Like this is the Terminal 1, if I'm not wrong. That one would be Terminal 2, and the one all the way to the back is the new terminal, which is under construction. I'm not really sure if it's under construction or if it's to be constructed, because that's it's not quite there yet. It's for the future, but you know, MK-Studios was very smart and they put it in already, because you know, this is a scenery that we're gonna be using for years to come. So yeah, jetways look fantastic, really nice. There's a little bit of vans around as well, a little bit of traffic with the animated bus, which looks questionable, honestly. What the hell is this bus? But then again, you know, we're talking about V5, we're talking about saving resources. We cannot go full crazy with the vehicles, which they don't really matter much, honestly, as long as the scenery is accurate and stuff. And we have quite a bit going on here. We have the Finnair baggage thingy, the crate. We have the vans. We have little tractors and stuff. Let's move around, see what do we have here. Some Swiss Sport stuff. Hell of a ride. That's nice. Another bus. And as you can tell, it's got the interior modeled, but it's just a sort of placeholder. Performance-wise, you know, they didn't really model the inside that much. But when you're inside the aircraft and you're looking towards the window, it does give that sense that yeah, it's a terminal, it's an airport, and there's stuff in there. Even though, like, let's see, we're here inside the aircraft, and you can look inside. The glass is transparent. Obviously, you can see inside, and from here it gives you that sense of an airport terminal, which is good enough. I mean, you're not gonna be free cameraing around the airport. Normally, you would not. You know, you wouldn't be full on crazy with the camera. So it doesn't really matter, and we're talking about V5 where VRAM plays a huge role. So the less, you know, you do stuff that could eat your VRAM, the better. So it's a very simple terminal, and you benefit from performance as well. So from outside it looks amazing, inside not so much, but that's not the entire point, because it's a flight simulator, it's not an airport simulator, and not meant to be walking into the airport. That would only, like, you know, compromise your performance. It runs very, very well, as you can tell. So we have like a very stable performance under any conditions, whether it's raining, snowing. It runs amazingly well, powered by active sky, obviously. So we're gonna continue moving around. As you can see, the lettering also doesn't seem to repeat. It's unique per like stand. See, it looks like a different pattern, so there's that as well. It doesn't repeat itself all the time. You have like very nice ground markings. They look amazing. The ground textures are great, like they're really, really good. And you can look like real up close here. You can tell that they've put a lot of work, real nice amount of work there on that. From afar it also looks very nice. Very, very up to date on that regard as well. The ground markings and stuff. Shadows look amazing as well. See what I meant? Like, it's a placeholder texture. You get in the terminal, there's not a lot to see, but you know, that's for performance reasons. From here it looks okay. I mean, the glass is a little greenish, so you cannot really tell what's inside. You cannot make it very well. And that makes up for, you know, the illusion that it's an actual model terminal. But look at that. So there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of placards and stuff, very well placed. It really makes you feel like you're flying out of Helsinki or into Helsinki, because you're approaching the airport, obviously, which we're gonna be checking on real soon. We're gonna, you know, fly this drone up high. I mean, it's not the drone, it's just a chase plane free camera, but you know, I'm used to the Microsoft Flight Sim drone, so let's call it a drone. Pretend it's a drone more so. This is the new one, which I'm not sure if it's built already or if it's under construction or if it's to be constructed. Whether the pandemic kind of made it hard or not, I'm not really sure. But this is the new terminal, so I'm not a local. I'm not really sure if it's there or if it's something that soon TM, you know, it's about to happen but not quite yet. And you have it all modeled, kind of. I mean, there's nothing really in here, just a skeleton, but it's fair enough. It hits quite a visual out of here, honestly. Look at that. Perfect for some like plane spotting. Fly out of there, take a picture, snap a nice picture, and so on. You can see very spacious. Very big, no terminal area. Amazing, fully transparent jetways so that you can see your passengers with GSX level 2. Very nice as well. Look at that. From outside, the way the glass looks, with dynamic reflections on, by the way, which makes it look even better. Look at that. It is just great. There's a lot of clutter. You can see like the baggage crates and stuff. Roadside vehicles there. This part, I'm not quite sure. I mean, the textures look a little not quite up to pair if you compare it to like Terminal 1 mostly. But then again, it's not like they have reference pictures, because this is something that is yet to happen. It's not there. So they don't have any reference pictures of that. They know what's it gonna look like, but they cannot take actual pictures of the terminal because it doesn't exist. But that's my understanding of it, at the very least. And you can see it's gonna make the airport a lot bigger as well. It's going to be able to handle a lot more traffic and probably cope with events a lot better as well. Because I remember flying out of Helsinki once it was full. I had to park like out of the stands because there was nowhere I could park. Now this is not going to be a problem anymore because look at this. This is massive. Helsinki airport. Look at that. The vehicles kind of, the buses, they seem to repeat themselves a lot. I'm not sure if that's how it is in the real airport, if they have like the same livery on everyone of them. I don't assume that's the case. Look at that, it gets bigger. You think that's all? No, there's more. There's the other side as well. This is going to be the new area. It's going to be able to handle a lot more traffic. It is already the most popular airport in Finland, obviously, because I mean it's the main city, but it handles a lot of traffic and it's going to be able to handle even more. So perhaps more destinations even. Who knows? Look at that. Maybe handle more low-cost airlines flying in there, because Airwings doesn't fly into Helsinki, for instance. I'm not sure if EasyJet or Ryanair does, but Airwings does not. That's kind of shame, because I would love to fly Airwings into here from Dusseldorf. Look at that. Helsinki airport looks absolutely fantastic. No complaints in that regard. Ground textures are great. It's got a little bit of grease and oil and stuff. The same buzzes over and over again. Sure if that's how it is, but still a decent amount of clutter. Then again, we gotta remember that this is V5 we're handling. You know, we are dealing with OOMs again. The problem that we had in FSX in V4, it was gone, and now it's back in V5, but it's not RAM anymore, it's VRAM. But the problem is back. You gotta dial down your settings. You cannot go full on like you could in V4. Because in V4 it didn't matter if you run out of VRAM, because DX11 handles it differently. But in V5 you do run out of memory. So you gotta dial down settings a little bit. Well, you know, in V4, even if you went full on crazy with your settings, the worst that could happen, obviously, it would be like a slideshow, like 10 FPS, but it would not crash. And if V5 it does crash, if you go too crazy with the settings. You can see the model quite a bit here. It's still PBR-ish, which is amazing. I mean, it's part of the airport that you can hardly see for parked all the way there. You cannot really see that much in here, and it's still PBR. I mean, obviously it degrades from there on, because it's not like you're going to be parking anywhere near, so it doesn't matter whether it's got a lot of detail or not. And you got to remember that all of that adds up to the VRAM usage. So even though they could, I mean, it would be nice to have better, like disputing right there. The Finnair one, that one, the blue one, big blue one, looks a little, but you know, if they went on to make it all crisp and clear, the VRAM usage would be massive, and that's definitely not the point. We want to save VRAM, we want to have sweet performance, and that's what this offers in a very nice way. Look at that. It's a big airport as far as the eye can see, and there's runway 3315 there as well, which goes all the way, stretches all the way to the back, impressively enough. Like, it's a very big airport, and somehow they managed to make it just run fine. You know, let's lower the camera, move a little faster. I need to find a sweet spot. I'm still like getting used to this camera thing. It takes a little getting used to, honestly, because how can I get max speed? Because I know there's a there you go. You need to like swoop around, and once you do that, you move faster. I'm still trying to like get to grips with this. A little confusing, but slow and steady wins the race, or so they say. You have quite a bit of parked cars there. Let's see. Double jetways, so this is probably going to be used for like international flights, like long distance. I mean, international flights doesn't cut it with Europe, because you know, even a 20-minute flight would be international. I mean, you could fly from here to St. Petersburg 35 minutes, and that's an international flight. So yeah, that doesn't cut it for. That's sorry, that was very South American of me, because like, you know, to get out of my country, you gotta fly at least for 2.5 hours, which would be from like Sao Paulo to Argentina somewhere, like Buenos Aires. That would be 2 hours something. That's like bare minimum for international. While, you know, in Europe countries are quite small, so it doesn't really cut it that much. This is what I don't quite get. I cannot make out what this is. If it's a building that happens to have an ad slapped on, or if this is a big ad that they tried to... I just... it's confusing. That's the little downside. Sometimes the textures are really confusing. Like the main terminal looks amazing with the PBR and stuff, and then we have the port at the center of the airport, which doesn't really matter much because you cannot see it from where you park. But it would be nice to have a little more clarity here. I mean, look at this, the entrance of the airport. It just, you cannot make out what is what. Like, look at that. It's a little, I mean, I know you cannot see it at all, and that would just, you know, make performance worse, but even so, it would be a little better if it, at the very least, looked like the thing. You could make out what it is. But then again, it's all, like, we gotta remember that this is V5. Back in V4 days, we could say, hey, fix that, because it didn't matter really. It was just the performance, but now it makes your game die if they do that. You know, it's not a matter anymore of, oh, I'm running at 24 FPS. Well, I usually run at like more than that, a lot more than that. But it's okay, it's playable. You know, you can play, even though it's like lame. It doesn't mean you cannot play, but in V5, that wouldn't mean just low frame rate. That would mean your game dying. So it's fair enough that perhaps they just shouldn't focus too much on that and instead just go full on with the parts that matter the most, which are obviously the stands, and they shine. They really do shine. Like, I mean, literally, look at that. Look at how it shines. It's amazing. And they are really well done. Like, really well done. I've never seen anything quite like it. It's a standard they hold up like pretty high. MK-Studios, when it comes to that, they are kings. Like, their jetways are amazing compared to some other scenery makers that have like static jetways or standard jetways that don't even look like the real counterpart. Here they went full on. It's just like the real one. It's got the weathering and stuff. Amazing work. And here it starts to get a little, I don't know. Is this how it's supposed to look? Little squarey, textures a little. So we have textures that, you know, that's something that I noticed. Like, it's a little inconsistent. It's like Windows 10 in a sense. Like, some parts look amazing, and there's the bit that looks ugly as heck. But then again, you know, we gotta understand that it's V5 with all its limitations. It's fair enough. And even so, even this part looks a little sketchier texture-wise. You even have interior, which from outside looks just about right. Let's keep moving on and exploring all of the bits that the terminal has to offer. Let's see. Oh, look at how it shines. It's the wonders of PBR. But I mean, like, it adds up a lot to the whole thing, you know, when you're taxiing by and then you look to your right and you see like the PBR shining on the rooftop. It's a little thing, but it's the little things that make all the difference. Here, even this is a cargo area, I suppose. There's not a lot going on here other than that. It's got like proper ground markings. You can see the ground textures are very consistent at the very least. Very consistent. Love it. Start moving faster. Oh yeah, I gotta hold up. Let me. Oh yeah, gotta lower the camera a little bit. There you go. Now we're getting up to speed. Gotta go fast. I want to go to that other side right there to check it out. Look at that. Got the company logos, Posti, whatever it is. More hangars, even more storage container thing. Let's move up. Let's take a look at the runway quality as well, which is very important because that's what you're gonna be looking at a lot when you're lining up and waiting for takeoff. It's important that it looks great, so we're gonna make sure that it does look great. Let's get there. Grass is a little, I don't know, but from aircraft level you cannot really make out that, so it doesn't make much of a difference. Like, you can see there's a bunch of patches. It's not very consistent. Now it's drawn around everywhere. But when you're down at like an aircraft level like this, you cannot really make it out. So it looks like there's grass everywhere, and it's a way that saves performance. So from aircraft angle, it does look, wow, grassy as heck. And then once you go up, you're like, what the hell is this? But it works. Runway ahead. Runway ahead. Ground textures, well, I'm not running fully maxed out, so I cannot really tell you for sure that it's this blurry, but it's fair enough. I mean, from high up, it doesn't really matter much. And we're talking about saving resources once again, because, you know, V5 is a big meme. Consistency is here and there, but maybe that's how it is in real life. And here's the runway. Look at that. Look at that crisp looking runway. Amazing. Cannot complain, honestly. Look at that. Very crisp, very nice. Smooth to that other side of the airport. Also looking very nice. Is this supposed to be a ditch? Not sure. Wow. Can I really read? It's a very light blue. There's TNT there, which I know. And this one, oh, Scan wings, never heard of. Interesting. Very nice terminal though. I mean, not hangar. I mean, not terminal. Jesus. Here we have more vans, sports vehicles. Needs more clutter, honestly. Like, I think this site could benefit from ground clutter. Here we have the H-34. What is this? It's for a helicopter? Looks like it. Alright, let's get up. Let's check the ground textures, the overall surroundings from all the way up, so that we can have a better idea of how it looks. Another heliport there in the center. Let's get up. Come on. And then it suddenly gets faster. I love how inconsistent the camera is. Look at that. That's Helsinki, baby. Quite a big airport. Also, there's all the in between there. Looks good enough from high up. DB Schenker. Then the city, I think. Looks more like an industrial kind of zone. Hobby Hall. There's a makes for a quite nice approach, honestly. Like, there's photo scenery everywhere. Oh, performance is going a little wacky here. I don't know, maybe it's loading stuff, but yeah, look at that. You can see all the farms. There's a lot of trees. There's real nice amount of photo scenery surrounding the airport. So if you're flying GA, if you're flying light aircraft just going around, very nice. And also when you're on Airbus or 737, just flying low, ensure your final approach. So every runway has quite a bit of photo scenery around, which is very nice. Have quite a bit to distract yourself. Take that wing shots that everyone loves. Yeah, there's a building area here. Then again, not going full on with the settings because of the VRAM concerns, so it probably looks a little better than that when it comes to overall definition. Now there's lots and lots of buildings, and it stretches out real far, which is amazing. So this would be 22 left approach. See, 22 left, and you get quite a bit. And that's more or less where it ends. You can tell the border where photo scenery ends and land class begins. But yeah, that's quite a lot of photo scenery, quite a lot of nice surroundings to take pictures. And as you can tell, running amazingly well. VRM wise and everything, which is very nice for such a big airport. But then again, look at that. It is indeed somewhat big. It's not Frankfurt, it's not Munich, it's not like Schiphol in the Netherlands, but still, it's big enough. I mean, it's got like, what, 3 runways? When you left, when you right? 15, 33, yeah, that would be about it. It's got quite a bunch of runways. It stretches out a lot. And overall, like, even though there are parts where we don't have the detail that one would want, but still it's understandable given, you know, the platform that we're in. This is not Microsoft Flight Simulator, this is prepared V5. We have the VRAM concerns, so it's only fair. But like, the parts that actually matter, which you're going to be looking at the most, which are obviously the terminals, look just great. They look just about right. And now we're going to be taking a look at the lights, the dynamic lights. So for that, I'm going to be changing it to nighttime. I'm going to be back in a bit with our favorite airport in Finland, all pitch black, so that we can check the dynamic lights, which are very important, and they play a huge role as well, because, you know, flying at night is very cool, and some airports don't look quite right at night, which kind of sucks and breaks the whole immersion. So we're gonna be making sure that Helsinki looks pog at night. That's what we're gonna be checking out in just about a second. And just like magic, it is nighttime in Helsinki. Let's check out the dynamic lights. Wow. How about that? Let's get down so that we can have a closer look at how good or bad it is. Honestly, I gotta say, that does look very convincing. Look at that. The terminal lights up as well, even like the store names and that's fantastic. Like the fact that the store thingies, the name the lettering also lights up. So from inside the plane, it must look fantastic, even more so. It's my first time checking out at nighttime, because even though I flew into this airport quite a bit recently, it was always at daytime. I'm not really much of a fan of nighttime flying. Honestly, it makes me tired. But look at that. It all lights up amazingly, other than this upper part, which looks a little odd, if I gotta say so myself. I'm not sure if it gets this bright. Also that and that. Then again, it's the texture, obviously. It's not like it's transparent like the glass there, which then... And GSX, as usual, doing odd stuff. What are you doing there, GSX? But you can see it's a very nice PBR. Very nice. And dynamic light shines wonderfully on the airplane. Look at that. On the sides. Remembering that V5 got an issue with PBR, so one of the sides looks a little glossy, but even so, we cannot really make out that here. So white livery, that helps out a little bit with that. And as you can tell, it looks just about right. Look at the moon there. Wow. Fantastic dynamic lighting. And the PBR shines when it's dark as well, which is important. So hopefully the PBR, look at that. Wowzers. That's amazing, isn't it? It's a very convincing night lighting, if I gotta say so myself. Not overdone, not overly bright. We have the Helsinki airport text also glowing very nicely. And all the taxiway markings with RGB JK. You can even see the lighting thing. It's just not flying there like your average, you know, default P3D scenery, or, you know, where it just, there's something glowing, but it's just there, flying out there. You can actually see the light thingy where it is, and it looks amazing. The no part as well, which is gonna look fantastic. Look at that. Also, very nice dynamic lighting there. The no terminal. Let's move a little faster because we want to see the inner part of the no terminal. Oh boy. Maybe we should lower the camera. Oh, there you go. No. The struggle. She got to speed. Oh, there you go. We're going much faster now. Oh. So if you sway to the side, it goes faster. That's interesting. The more we know, you can see the wood pane there. Look at that. Victoria's Secret. Completely transparent jetway. She looks great as well. Oh yeah, the crab move goes faster than just walking normally. It's amazing. I mean, crab move makes for some nice angles though, I gotta say. Look at that, how we're surrounding the airport in a very nice fashion. That very, very nice dynamic lighting here. The way it bounces on the structures. Lights up just enough. Not too much, but also not very overly bright, very overdone. Looks very natural, very convincing, as one would expect from, you know, a real airport. Look at that. Very, very nice. Now, we're gonna try and make it snow so that we can see how much it changes, and that's very important because, you know, it's Finland. More often than not, it's covered by snow, so it's important that we have quite some snow. You should check it out. Let's make it snow. Be back briefly with snow, hopefully. Well, that was a little harder than I assumed, but I finally made it snow. So apparently True Sky doesn't let snow happen, and I spent quite some time figuring out how to make it snow, how to, you know, going through historical weather. Then I looked up on Google. Turns out that there was a blizzard in early January. That's what I did. And look at that. We're replicating that blizzard earlier the day that it happened, actually. So we have snow finally. It's gonna take a little bit until it builds up, but yeah, we have snow. And look at that. Looking very nice. Should start building up on the aircraft soon enough as well. And we're gonna move around and see what happens. So this is more or less what it looks with snow and also rain, because of the puddles and stuff. Looks absolutely fantastic. They are like dynamic as well. They build up over time. You see like how the runway gets. Does crab mode works? No, it doesn't work when the camera is way too high now. Sadly. Look at that. Merry Christmas! And even though I've been trying a lot, I'm not sure if I gotta like reload the sim with snow so that it actually builds up. And that my OBS is a little tricky. It only works. It's a one-time thing. You gotta like open P3D, then open OBS. And if you start recording, like next time you open P3D, it's not gonna capture. It's very tricky. The window capture thing. Oops. What the hell? What is that? The shadows broke. Okay, amazing. Still don't have snow build up. But there is, they modeled snow. And the banks like are dynamic, like the snow banks and stuff. I wish I could replicate it, but Active Sky's not helping me out today, which is a shame. But worry not, because I'm definitely once winter comes for good, which is around the end of the year. Actually, I'm gonna be making quite a few videos, flying out of Helsinki to like Rovaniemi, Oulu. Pardon my Finnish, which I don't speak at all, so I probably butchered the names, but still, yeah, I'm gonna be flying to EFRO and EFOU and EFIV, Ivalo, I don't know how like I say it, so it's gonna be quite a lot of content. You just gotta wait and see, and we're gonna have the snow right there and then. But from now, sadly, I could not replicate it. As much as I've tried, it sadly didn't want to work. But that's about it, I think, for this video. My overall opinion is that it's very well worth it. It's got a few down, got a few downs, honestly, on regards to like the not so important stuff outside of the terminal, like that Finnair building right there, which doesn't look very PogChamp. But the terminal itself, the jetways, the very lightweight interiors, performance focused, the markings, the textures, the lighting is amazing. I gotta say it's a solid 8.5 to me. Really, and it performs very nicely as well. It's a must buy. Mostly because if you look at our back store today or the next like 10 days, I think the sale is gonna stretch up that far. You can pick this up for 11 Aussie dollars. Oh, actually 14.95 Aussie dollars, which then becomes 11 US dollars, which is fair enough. I mean, it's quite a nice price for such a big, nice scenery that you can fly into often. I mean, there's a bunch of major airlines that fly to Helsinki on a daily. British Airways, Lufthansa, they fly from Frankfurt and Munich, basically daily. There's the fun flight to St. Petersburg, just 35 minutes with the A319, a lot of fun. Lots of, you know, national flights for to Rovaniemi, Ivalo, Oulu, and so on, which are very nice and short as well, very enjoyable. And it's quite a nice place on VATSIM as well. The controllers are very active and friendly, so yeah, keep an eye on that. And yeah, that's the overall opinion on Helsinki. You definitely gotta get it. It's a must-have for P3D because, you know, Finland's a lot of fun. It took a long time. People had to wait a lot, and then finally we got not only one but two different versions of Helsinki by JustSim and MK-Studios, reminding you that this is MK-Studios version, and it is great. I would highly recommend it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, the walk around, more so the fly around with the drone camera, checking the airport, checking the terminals and everything. I hope it was up to you guys standards, because that's my first time actually reviewing scenery. And look at that, the FS Lab starting to build up. Look at that, snow, boys. Look at that thick snow layer building up there. It's amazing. Took a little bit, but we finally have a snow-covered airplane that begs for some de-icing. But we don't have any snow on the scenery just yet. But it does have it. It's just my P3D that's not really helping out much today. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one. Feedback's much appreciated, because reminding you, that's my first time actually reviewing the scenery. I don't know what people look for when they want a scenery review. What does matter the most? Is it the terminal? Is it the roadside stuff? Is it the clutter? I don't really know. I'm just talking, you know, I'm just mentioning the points that matter to me firsthand, but I also want to know, what do you guys look for in sceneries overall? So feedback's much appreciated, and I'll see you guys hopefully in the next one. If you guys like the reviews, I might make more, because I bought some more sceneries, so if you guys want more of that, I'm definitely up to recording a few more, because I find that very enjoyable. I just don't know for sure if that's what you guys want. But yeah, I see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Or more so, my cursor disappeared. Oh, there you go. Bye-bye.